Welcome back to a Setup Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark. How are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Bro, you saw what I saw this morning when I was getting ready to eat and eat breakfast and make my way to you, bro?
No, I did not see it just on this morning.
You ain't see it?
No.
Remember we talked about last week that Starliner thing? The guys, the two people that are stuck in space, Butch and Suni.
Okay.
They're not leaving until February, bro, at least.
February?
Yeah, they're there for another 6 months.
Yeah, they're cooked.
I would have been pissed. That guy is probably over there shitting himself, man.
Yeah, no. I mean, no.
And now that whole Elon, like the Dragon, the SpaceX thing is becoming more real. Like they might have to do that.
I don't know why they're saying it's about to become more. I think it should just happen. Like, why are they?
Because Boeing doesn't want to admit that they fucked up. They already are like stuck in all these legal troubles just for the airline thing. After they announced that, they went into a story right after that about the Alaskan Airlines flight where the door flew off.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
And they're on all these trials, and they're allegedly people are just dying after they go on trial against them and stuff like that. So
yeah,
a lot's going on. I also saw, it's kind of wild to me, they reached a verdict / convicted the person that killed PNB Rock this morning. So they found him guilty of murder, but he's 17, so they charged his dad.
How does that make sense?
Because he's responsible for his your child. Like if it's like, there's certain times where like if there's like parent negligence to that extent, then it falls on the parent. And then they also found that the son wasn't like mentally fit to be like tried or like questioned or whatever like that. So so the pop got like time.
Wow.
Which is the same thing happens for like if school shootings happen. Like if their kids like too young, like it'll fall on them because it's kind of true. It's like, yo, why are you not watching your kid?
That's true. I mean,
like how do you live with the same person every day and you don't peep this shit?
Yeah.
That's at that point you're just ignoring all the signs.
That's true.
You could have prevented it. But yeah, man, he got tried. I forgot how many years it was, but it's kind of wild. Like I saw the picture of his pop and I'm like, damn, bro. Like when you think about it, it's kind of valid. I mean, but he's 17 though. Usually, like if it's something like that, they basically will try you as an adult.
I was gonna say, I mean, he should literally just 1 year off. I mean, I would have thought they would have just been like, look,
yeah,
your pops has to do this, or maybe like he does like some type of community service thing or whatever, and then like once he's 18, you're just like, bro, yeah. Like,
no, I mean they have juvie and shit, like juvenile centers. So, but usually there's like if something's bad enough, they'll be like, oh, like, we'll try you as an adult, even though you're this age. But like 17 is like right there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess the pop took the fall for it, but yeah, that was another thing that I saw. That's not even what I want to talk about for real. I also saw. Listen, man, I had that TV on, and this is why I don't watch the news. Because it's just back to back.
Then you watch the news.
It wasn't me.
I
was getting ready to come see you. My mom was on her way to go to work. And parents, since the dawn of time, they're just like, put Channel 6 on.
Yeah. As soon as they wake up.
Wake up to the sweet voice of Jim Gardner and Ricky Williams. But yeah, they were just bouncing off stories. It happened yesterday too. I'm like, Mom, like every time like she does that, I secretly walk over and like change it to something else. Cause like I hate when they watch the news because they become so paranoid because they just hit you with just nonstop, just shitty stories.
I mean, that's just what the news is.
Yeah. Yeah. It was all happy because she was like, oh, like keep the news on because like it's been raining crazy. She's like, I want to see what's going on with like this, like if it's gonna be flooding or anything like that. Like, cause my dad drives for work, so like pay attention to that shit. So I put it on. It's like that happy ass song. It's like dun 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 dun, dun. And then it ends. It's just like
10 people died.
Yeah, like they hit you with that, and I'm like, bro, like
10 people.
I said to him, I was like, yo, hello to you too, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, damn, like
not even a good morning,
yeah, like,
bro.
As soon as the song cut off, it was like 10 kids were murdered today. It's like, damn, like
it's like, all right.
But yeah, it's just bad story after bad story. That happened, and then the first thing that she pulled, the reason she put it up this morning in the first place is because we got like Alexa John, and it'll tell you like news on the thing, and you could hit like play, and it'll play a short video. And this woman got hit by a car on Broad Street and died. She was like 50-something years old. Apparently she went like 100 feet in the air. And she read that and was like, oh my God. And then put it on and it was just constant news. So like, they're still trying to figure out, well, apparently the lady hit her. Don't laugh, Mark. This isn't funny.
I'm not trying to, bro. Once you put how far she went in here, bro, it sent me, bro.
And they're like, oh, we're still trying to find out how fast she was going. Like, we think the speed was an issue. And I'm like, I think the speed was an issue too if she flew 100 feet in the air. I've seen video. I never thought that was possible.
Yeah, it's like the way you get hit. It's like that's what really like.
But like people really like you see like I'm not trying to make a joke, but you play like GTA and you see people get hit by cars or whatever, and you see how they fly. Like people really fly like that. I thought that was just the game being over dramatic. I've seen real life video of that happening. Like back when I used to work at T-Mobile on Broad Street. Stop calling me. We had one location where I worked at on Temple's campus, and then further down the road down Broad, there was another location. They call it Broad 2, Broad Street 2. And we was Broad Street 1. We was the best store.
I can see why 2 got a little.
And it was further down the way, and then in front of it was Philly Wireless. Was that like one of them? Like you can't really trust them phone stores.
Yeah.
So in front of there, somebody got hit, and they had a security camera. But like everything, we had like a thing where it's like, oh, if people will come in and try to sign up for an account, and like they shit was just fucked, like they were fraud or like they just had terrible credit, we just like, yo, like go to Philly Wireless, like they'll take anybody. So we had a communication between them and us, right? So we was helping each other out. They sent us, my manager, the security camera footage of the person getting hit, bro. When I tell you, the car made impact, and like this is the camera screen, right? The guy was here, he got hit here, he exited the frame up here.
Dang. Yeah, he flew.
Yeah.
He was out.
So like it's real. Like people really fly like that high, and like that must be scary as shit to see. And yeah, I don't want to make light of it, but that was another news story that I saw. And then following that, just to tell you how bad the freaking news is, and this is all like local news. You know, it's messed up when like they do like the field reporting, and I noticed the area. You know, it's like, oh, like, I used to be right there. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that's right by the Dunkin' Donuts. Like,
yeah, I know exactly where that incident just happened.
Yeah, so it sucks when you see shit like that. And then there's another one. It's like, oh, like what's it called? Girls High School, something Girls High School, one of the high schools. The teacher got like 3 years for having sex with one of the students, and it's like, bro, why? What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's wild. And then what's funny about the news is that they have this system. So then once they throw in like 3 bad stories, they'll throw in a nice one and be like, oh yeah, and then the cat just got saved.
Yeah. I was literally about to say, it's like, and then this little girl, she organized this charity for the puppy shelter where 5 dogs were like
right. And back to it. Somebody just died in a plane crash.
We just watched somebody die in the parking lot. More at 6.
Somebody literally just died out in our parking lot. We're gonna cover the news right after these
If you just
breaks.
follow me right here, if you just look right there, you see next to that's my Toyota. If you see
more after.
Yeah. It's like, damn, bro, you can't get a break.
No, yeah, the news is terrible. That's why I don't ever watch it.
I just don't get the whole like, because this ties in. I bring this up because it ties in perfectly what I originally wanted to talk about, and I was just like, this is perfect.
But you know what else is crazy though? Before you get into that, is that they have the news, and then I mean, I don't know if you have it. I know some people who do, but then people.
If you about to tell me one of them apps, bro, I'm not on it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go outside, bro.
Yeah, and then people have those apps, and I'm just like, bro, why do you have this? Like, don't get me wrong, it's like good to know because it's almost like a slightly little like extra for security systems. Say, because you got cameras and stuff like that. Like, you want to make sure where you're at is good.
Yeah. So be specific as fuck. But then is there anything that checks that though? Like, can I just say like, oh, there was a stabbing here, even without like? I feel like that's what happens. Yeah. Either that or Philly's just that bad.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. To be honest, because I don't have it, but I know people who do, and I've always been just like, bro, like what the heck? Like, how am I supposed to feel safer and be like okay when literally like a couple blocks down the street at the McDonald's, somebody just got stabbed? Like, it's kind of weird, but yeah, those things too. It's just like I don't know. Why say like again to each his own, but some people just are just like, yeah, I want to know like 24/7.
Exactly. I get the purpose, but also like, what you gonna do?
That's true.
You gonna be Batman?
Either Batman or be freaking boarding up your house to the point of like an apocalypse is about to happen. You're just like, no one's coming in or leaving.
My thing is like, because obviously, you know, parents, I don't know if you have the same situation with your mom or like your family, but they see these things and it stresses them out. And then they probably come to you and be like, yo, like, be careful. So-and-so just got shot on whatever. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, like, obviously be careful. I know, like, we were born and raised here. We know to be careful. But also, like, what am I going to do? Like, not go outside? Like, I know how to navigate. I know I'll be careful. I'll keep an eye out. But they be telling me this stuff. It's like, oh, like, don't go outside. Like, I'm like, yo, people get shot every day, B. Like,
that's happened to me too. And I'm always just thinking, I'm like, what am I supposed to do if like, like, it's not like I'm going towards it, but like, if something happened, like, it's not going to be my fault.
Yeah, like, I understand the concern and I appreciate it, and like, I'll be careful, but I can't let it like deter me from living my life because otherwise, I'll never go outside.
Yeah.
So it's like I can only just be as careful, know where to be, know when neighborhoods to and to not hang around And if I'm in somewhere that I shouldn't be at, I get out of there quick. I don't spend too much time lollygagging.
This is literally bringing references to the SpongeBob episode where he didn't
Yes.
want to leave his house.
Yeah. And he was worried about breaking his butt and like all this other stuff. That was the same episode, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. It was
Because he like was doing some crazy like stunt, and he like broke his butt, and then he got healed, but then he was like, I'm not going outside ever
he said
again.
the outside world is just
There
crazy.
ain't no other place.
Yeah.
Chip,
penny, and napkin.
Use napkin.
Use napkin. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that same idea. It's like I don't want to, I don't want to let fear like just make my decision making. Obviously, be smart, but also Philly is just something all the time. Did you see what that fucking app?
When you're in the city, yeah.
And then what's the other? Damn, that's an old video.
I mean, yeah, just look at it. Wow.
Look at those cuties, man. Look at that that watermark.
Yeah, right. Really,
still the same name.
Dang.
But what was I gonna say? That I don't know. I forget the name of it. There's like Philly something. It just tells you like same idea as that app. It'll show you like videos though on IG of like the shit that be going on. I don't know if it's still a page or not, but I remember I followed it for like 2 days, and I was like, I gotta get off this because this shit was making me depressed, bro.
No, yeah.
I can't like be on this.
Those
all the
accounts
time.
are just out of pocket. To be
that
honest.
when I lived on Temple's campus, they also had TU alerts, and they would tell you any like within a certain radius, like shit that happened, they'll send you a text. But then my mom worked for Temple. And then I guess at some point I probably put her as like my emergency contact or whatever. So she got all those texts too. So whenever I would get them, 2 seconds after she would hit me up like
careful.
Yeah, like stay home.
Better not
like,
be outside.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom, I got a night class in the city tonight. Like I gotta get this education,
Mom. Out in the city.
Yeah.
I can't stop this.
I don't want to go. This. But yeah. What I wanted to mention though was back to that guy that's teacher that like was having sexual relations with students at Girls High or whatever. I just don't understand why that happens. Like, I get why. I mean, obviously there's weirdos that are like, all right, cool, I'm gonna be a teacher because I'll get to be around kids all the time and plot and scheme and make something happen, then eventually just get put in jail, as they should be. But it's like, why is this so frequent, man? Like, I don't get it. And then I don't know if it's because obviously more access to information now. Like, I see tweets and stuff all the time, and it'll be sometimes like women teachers as well. It's just like a lot of times it's like, oh, like she had sex with this student, whatever, and then she lost her job and shit. And it's like, why can't y'all stay away from kids? Where does that start? Like, is that a hormonal thing? Is that a mental thing? Is that like passed down where you just have this weird attraction to people that you just shouldn't be relating to sexually?
Yeah.
And the reason I tied this into what I originally wanted to talk about is because I kept seeing like literally this entire summer basically, and this year in general, of just content creators being caught up as like talking to minors or sex offenders or like PDF files, as people are saying it to hide it.
PDF.
Yeah. And all that's just going because it's like you had Dr. Disrespect, Cody Co, where I don't know if you remember him, but from Vine and like YouTube and stuff.
I think I know.
He has a podcast. He was like 26 and he had sex with was it Tana Manjo. It's one of the people that was like on David Dobrik's crew of vloggers when she was like 17. So everybody's giving him shit for it, but he hasn't said a fucking word about it. Noel Miller hasn't said shit about it. He's just starting his own podcast thing. He hasn't said shit. Trying to not get that parking ticket again.
Bro, it did it again, bro. It doesn't make sense to me. Why does it do that? Oh, wait, it might be good here. All I was trying to do was extend it this time. It didn't even finish yet.
Yeah. For y'all that don't know, back home, last week after we recorded, we have to pay for street parking and shit so we don't get tickets. And then last week, I was like, oh, like we should be good because the app wasn't working for him. And then we went out, and then he got a ticket last week. So we're like trying to. I think I
understand what the reason is. It's more so like, I think it's just like when I have like the Wi-Fi, so I have to turn it off, even though I don't have the Wi-Fi. It's like weird.
So, like it fucks up your connection.
Yeah. So I just did that now, and then it worked.
I just vividly remember us doing this and you not knowing a single one of these references. This was like Vine Jeopardy.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Me and Q was just like rocking these off, and you're just like, I don't know.
It was just like, I don't know. I was on Vine, but I didn't like see all the little ones that like ended up being like very popular. Same thing with like TikTok now. It's like it's the same thing. I'll know some, but not all.
Yeah, Cody Co was like they says because in Canada the age of consent 17, but he did all this in the U.S. So like he was basically like it wasn't right, and he hasn't said a word about it. And then he also has like he's DJing now, so all this is while all this is going on, and like people are like, yo, like can you say something about this? Like this looks really bad. There's videos and vlogs of you like kissing on the 17-year-old.
And
Can you
he's
say
like,
something?
And
he's
if
just
you're ready for it.
It's like get ready for the bass. So that's another
Yeah.
person. And then
Wow.
I didn't see the entire scope of the story, but apparently at one point somebody mentioned how what was it called? Complex, I think it was, like the news platform, whatever. They released an article saying one of Kai Cenat's driver.
I was just because I remember I didn't see the full thing. I never
Mhm.
he was making like a statement on his stream or whatever.
Yeah.
about
So
it.
initially they made an article saying, oh, Kai Cenat's driver or bodyguard or some shit like was talking to a minor at some point in time. And then Kai Cenat was like, yo, like we're gonna investigate about it, figure out what's going on, and like he'll deal with it appropriately. And then it came out that they named the wrong guy. It wasn't his driver at all, somebody completely unrelated. So then Kai Cenat was like, yo, like fuck y'all for not even doing the proper research. It took me 2 seconds to figure out that it actually wasn't him. And now like he's about to like sue them, I believe, or some shit like that. So it's like it sucks because no matter what comes out being true or not, once that story's put out there, people are gonna stick that to you whether it's true or not. It's like I always talk about. I don't like. I remember back then people was like, "Oh, like Usher has like herpes and shit," and it was like, "Oh, like let it burn" jokes and all that shit. And then it came out he didn't have anything, but now it's like 10 years later,
People are still
and people
gonna
are
say
still
it.
like, "Oh, like he
Yeah.
got he letting it burn."
Yeah.
So same
He
thing.
letting it
So
burn.
same thing with Kai is like even if it wasn't him at all,
Yeah.
it was just somebody that he had an employee essentially.
They're gonna say that.
Now it's just attached. I mean, it wasn't even true to begin with. So now it's just this unnecessary label placed on him
yeah.
in general.
They're gonna say all this stuff like, oh, he hires people who,
Yeah.
you know, and it's that's annoying.
Even though he openly said like, "Yo, I'm gonna take care of it," and he did, and just to come to find out that there was nothing to come about it in the first place.
Yeah.
And then I forget the person's name, but she was a part of Mr. Beast's crew. It was like Mr.
I
Beast's
know what
best
you're talking
friend.
about. Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm forgetting their name.
Yeah,
Q's gonna kill me for it,
I know
but-
exactly who you're talking about, though.
yeah.
I was doing like a lot of like looking into that too, just because like it was so random. Because I think it was either him who posted or something else, and I was just like very confused because Mr. Beast don't be posting nothing serious. I wouldn't say
Mhm.
serious, like his content is serious for the most part, but it's just
So like dealing with real life is usually based
Yeah.
around the.
So
like,
when I saw
if
that,
you
I
let
was-
go of this table, you lose $100 million.
So when I saw that, I was just like, wait, what is this? Like, what's going on? So then I started looking at that. I was just
you
like,
had to
wait.
address everything.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
And it's
He
like-
was just like he was disgusted about everything.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow.
It's just yet another thing that like has nothing to do with him, but since he's the bigger name, it's gonna attach it
Yeah.
to him, and it just makes him look bad, even though he didn't do anything.
Bro, I looked at how many subscribers he has. That's insane.
He has the most on YouTube, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just insane. Like, I couldn't just fathom the idea of seeing that number and just being like, bro, that's a single
Yeah.
account.
I remember back in like early on YouTuber days when it was like PewDiePie was like the biggest one or whatever, and
Yeah.
it was like him and T Series, which was like I believe an Indian like YouTube channel or some shit.
Yeah.
We're like competing literally just against him to be the most subscribed. And now back then that was like when PewDiePie had like 10 million, and that was like unheard of. Now
Yeah.
Mr. Beast is at like way beyond that,
Yeah.
and they're still trying to compete with him. So it's like
But it's just like insane, man, because it's like the amount. That's funny. But no, it's just insane to see. Like when I saw one of his videos the other day, and I was just like, bro, that many. It was the one with the like subscribers, the YouTubers, like doing they were in a box or whatever,
Mhm.
and it was just like because they had all their subscribers on the back of their like jersey shirts they have. So I was just looking at everybody's, and I was just like, dang, like I think the person who had the most out of everybody there at a certain point, I think was like Logan Paul, and I was just like, dang, like people weren't even that close to him. And then I look at his Mr. Beast, and I'm like, bro, that is an insane difference. Like it's crazy.
You know, it's crazy, and it's gonna get to a point where like somebody's gonna go even be like, there's gonna be a new Mr. Beast that even surpasses that.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like it's on like whenever he phases out or whatever he decides to do, like move on from it
At
or
some
whatever. Like
point, yeah, it's
there's gonna be a
while, but
like obviously at the time, like you think about like a PewDiePie, like he was the most subscribed. He's like, yo, nobody's ever gonna pass PewDiePie.
yeah.
And then he said the N word on a bridge in a video game, and then he just stopped doing gaming videos. Just
Yo.
unprovoked. Like he was just like playing DayZ or some shit, driving over a bridge, and like somebody like cut him off, and he was just like effing N word, and it was just like what, like, and it was on live on Twitch too. So yeah,
Yeah.
and now Mr. Beast is doing this thing, and like I hope this isn't the thing that like kills Mr. Beast, because like this has nothing to do with him. He didn't say the N word. He didn't talk to minors. His friend did.
Yeah, I doubt it really would, because like again, when people because that's the thing that's good about him having so many subscribers at the same time is that like he's done this for a while now without having like an incident like this, that he will have a good amount of loyal people that will just
Yeah.
like, if it's not him saying it over and over again, it'd be his subscribers that will tell people themselves like, yo bro, like he's not doing
Yeah.
this. Like, here, I'll send you a link.
And he
This is
removed
a-
all the content with his friend in it.
yeah,
Like, he
like,
removed all those videos, which is kind of wild. Like to go even to have to look through all that.
yeah. I remember I
Um,
was watching him at that point when he was in his videos and stuff like that, like his friend.
Yeah. So that was another one. And then you think about like Dr. Disrespect, where his was like he was doing Twitch whispers, which I didn't even know that Twitch whispers was still a thing. It's basically like how you send messages on
Yeah,
Twitch.
yeah. I never understood Twitch whispers, to be honest. Like, I remember it was just like, oh yeah, I sent you a whisper. I'm like,
Yeah.
why does that even sound weird itself?
Yeah, I logged. Yeah, it's like they could just make messages a thing. But yeah, I logged into my Twitch randomly like 2 days ago because I haven't touched Twitch in like over a year and some change. And then I just had like 4 or 5 whispers in my DM, like, yo, like I haven't watched the stream. Like, who are you? But yeah, like he got caught up talking to minors, whatever, and he was just like, oh, I'm not gonna deny it. Like X, Y, and Z happened. He's also married with kids, probably the same age as like the people he was trying to talk to.
No, yeah. I think his issue was it was a scandal that happened so long ago that that's why he got banned off of Twitch.
Yeah, but they never said why all this time.
And then he finally came out with it. So that was something that just happened so long ago. He finally brought it to light.
What's crazy though is like I remember at that time when they weren't talking about it, he made it seem like Twitch was doing him wrong or some shit. And like it was this whole like, oh, like we're gonna get justice for like whatever, like I'm gonna get my account back and X, Y, and Z. Like, oh, Twitch is doing it. Like, yo, you openly went on stream and said all that shit, knowing that like you were you caused all of this. Like you were talking to a minor, knowingly. And then what pissed me off even further from that is like that all happened, and he was like, oh, I'm taking a break. But that was like a week or 2 ago, and now he's been tweeting out like these vague ass tweets and images, just being like, oh, teasing a comeback. It's like, bro, like you're talking to minors as like he's probably, was he like 40 years old or some shit?
I think he's like 38 or something.
Almost 40 years old, married with kids, and you were talking to like teenagers and below, or I think it was just one girl that was like a teenager. A week or 2 is not enough time for you to take hiatus. Like, get back in your corner. Like, you're not done yet. Like,
corner, old man.
Yeah, like you need a longer timeout. You like that doesn't just go away.
I don't know. I guess he's just trying to not stay in this thing that he's in, but I mean, he can't escape it. Like, he did what he did. You know
Yeah, like, it's gonna continuously pop up in years later. And what sucks too is like, because same thing with Mr. Beast's situation, and then this guy, Dr. Disrespect's situation. You think about all this shit, and it's like the people that also associate themselves with him. How much do they know about it? Are they in the same boat, or are these people that like they were oblivious? Because you think about like how many times Tim the Tap Man has put out a tweet like, "Oh, we about to stream together," and you have all these thumbnails of y'all two together, and y'all like close friends, and it's like, damn, my friend just popped up with that shit. Like,
no, yeah, I mean, I've seen a bunch of stuff of him coming out just saying like he didn't know anything about that, and that like he just did it. Like I've seen so many other people that like played with him or whatever, his friends, and just being just straight up like, yeah, like I don't condone that. Just saying like I can't believe any of that stuff that he did, and just like not going to like basically play with him or whatever. And I was just like, it just like sucks to know that like that's somebody who's your friend, and then that just comes out. It's like, dang, like that's just
strong. It's like, yo, you could have just played games, made your bread, and like been happy with your wife and kids, bro. You have the perfect life right now. Literally. You got money coming out more than you could probably deal with. You have a video game coming. That's another thing too. He had this video. They dropped him from the company, so he's not even attached to that game anymore.
Yep.
And that sucks for them because there's probably a bunch of other people that put all this time into that game. And now it's already attached to his name. So it's like, we're not going to support this game because it used to be attached to basically a creep.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and it's really dumb.
But it's just this was what worries me because like, guys, we post this every week. We hope that one day we could reach that level of like following and status, and we can make a living off of this thing and enjoy making video games and podcasts and being goofy friends that we've known for a long time, and just quit our day jobs and get to do this full time. But if there's some weird side effect of like getting 1 million subscribers on YouTube that makes somebody have the urge to talk to underage kids, I don't want to be internet famous anymore.
That's very true.
Like, I'll drop this right now. If somebody could tell me like, yeah, like it's guaranteed. Like that's
a guarantee.
The minute you see 1 million on your account, you just get, it's like, bro, like I'm good. Keep me at where I'm at right now.
That's just with like fame in general, not just specifically that, but all the other stuff that ends up happening when you're famous. And you're just like, why?
What is the urge, bro? And then I think about it's like, yo, like because I'm not gonna lie, like Cody Ko and Noel Miller, I watched their That's Cringe series like all the time. I thought they were hilarious. Mostly Noel carried it, but like I used to watch that content, and you think about other people is like that you watch, and how heartbreaking it would be if you had that kind of news pop out. And I was thinking about it because like Tony from TikTok made a video talking about like, oh, like as soon as you get a certain following, like you say all of a sudden you want to talk to kids or whatever, and everybody in the comments like, bro, you got kind of a big following too. Like you might want to be, you might want to be careful. It's like, yo, if something came out about him or like RDC people, or like I watch Berleezy a lot, or like I watch the Basement Yard, or like you watch Shits and Gigs.
Yeah.
It's like if anything were popular to those people that I watch consistently, bro, I'd be so mad, bro.
Yeah.
Because like why?
Exactly. That's
Why'd you have to fuck it up?
It does sucks when you're following somebody. Like, and it sucks too on like, not that you would know, but it's just like that whole time, like you end up hearing like, oh yeah, this was something that's happened like who knows, like 3 years ago. Like, you've been watching for that long, and then the fact that you start
in the
you're like,
damn,
like dang, bro, like this whole time, like I've been watching this for 3 years. You mean to tell me now, like this is like you're coming out with this thing, and this happened so long ago? Like, dang.
It just ruins everything, man.
Yeah, it does. It's like instant unfollow.
Why do all these people? Is it like I want to know what it is? Like, do they get this following and it just comes with that, or have they just always been this way? Are they like what is the factors that it's becoming so frequent?
I don't know. It could just also be an idea of like people around them that they know that's probably done stuff like that.
They're also that's the one that I think is the most probable, because like you're around these people that also probably do it, and maybe that's the reason they get even famous in the first place. Like, oh, like you think like me, so we're gonna be in this like kind of like you're like minded, so we'll keep you around kind of thing. Same thing with like the music business, where it's like a lot of these guys, they're around rich ass people with a lot of power. They into it. If they see you into it, or you play along with it, it's like, all right, cool, we'll keep you around. Because a lot of times they control who does and who does not make it.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like that comes from. That's why a lot of the stuff scares me when like people with like a lot of money and power and shit. Like any area where I feel like that's very like prominent, I get scared of. I feel like a bad vibe off. Like LA scares the shit out of me. Not off of like obviously there's regular people that live there, but like Hollywood scares the shit out of me.
No, yeah.
Because I guess all these people that you know have either done this stuff or have been like accused of it, convicted of it, or know somebody who's been a part of it, whether if it's like trafficking or like
bunch of what ifs.
Yeah. Because like you think about like Nickelodeon. As a kid, we're like, yo, we would love to be on Nickelodeon. Like that's like the dream, man. Like get to be on a show and like all this other shit. And then you come to find out that they were filming toes all the time.
Yeah.
And that's all it took for you to get on the show. You just had to be okay with filming your toes.
Nah.
And I didn't want to do that, and that's why we're here.
That's all right.
My parents didn't want to ship me off.
They didn't want me to show my toes, so now we're doing this. Dang it. Could have been with Victoria Justice.
I'm saying, bro. But
Ariana Grande.
That's what scares me. And then you think about like the Olympics going on, right?
Yeah.
And it's in Paris, France.
Paris.
And these are all like the greatest athletes in the world, great at what they do. This event brings millions upon millions of dollars, sponsors, like all the biggest names of celebrities in the world, like political figures, all fly out to go see these people perform. And that's a lot of money and power in that room. And you got to think like some of the shit that they do outside of it. Because obviously there's the Olympic Village. All the athletes stay there. They, you know, until they have to perform. But then there's probably like businesses and other things going on, parties and shit of like, oh, like Olympics, taking advantage of the situation, trying to make as much money as possible. And then a lot of people with these money, a lot of money and power, they come over there and it's like, oh, like I need women, I need this, I need that, I need drugs. So it's like, I'd be horrified to be in that atmosphere because I feel like it's just a bunch of people that just are into that shit, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it sucks. That's why, being in like positions and like you said, power and money like that, it's just it opens a lot of doors to that stuff, which sucks.
That's what scares me about making money.
Yeah, it does suck, and it's like really trying to find who's going to be the person. Like I don't know, because there are people who are just like super good and also like just have the people around them that are also good, but it's like also very rare, and that's what sucks about it.
Because the higher you get up, and like people with power, they have access to everything, and I feel like they get to a point where they get bored, so they just like, oh, like I'm just doing it because I can, type of thing. Like I think there's like, I don't know if we call it like a theory, but there's like rock stars like back in the day. It's like they slept with so many women that they just get bored that they start sleeping with men, kind of thing. Or same thing with like rich people. It's like, oh, like they had every woman, they've had every food, everything, they have everything at their fingertips. that they just get so bored of having everything in easy access that they find interest in like the taboo or like things that are like
Yeah.
basically illegal.
And that makes sense though, in that like idea of like
It's like the
they
Epstein
have
Island type shit.
they have everything, so they're just like, what can I do with it now? Which is why I always say I would never want to be like filthy rich. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like it's nice, cool, like, you know, I can just never have to worry about money ever again. But the idea of like, if I do have all of that, and in this ideal world, money rules the world, you know
Yeah.
what they all say. It's just like, why would why would I want to have something that's like that in my life, where I know it's like at some point I'm just gonna get like bored one day waking up and be like, I just want to do something like very just out of pocket. And it's like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't want to do that.
You just gotta have like quiet money.
Yeah.
Like enough money where it's like, yo, like I don't gotta worry about nothing, but not too much where people are like getting attention. It was like, oh, this guy's like rich. So you gotta like maintain a low profile. Same thing with fame. It's like obviously we do this thing, and like, would it be cool to do it to like a Mr. Beast type of level following? It's like, yeah, but also like, do we like, can I handle that? Can we handle that? Like that's a lot of pressure, and like a lot of people you gotta manage and shit.
I think my level would be just like kind of how like RDC World is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like they have their community.
Yeah.
They do little cameos and shit. They be in music videos sometimes, whatever. Like
they have their
the
own,
people that know them.
Yeah, they have their own
niche.
convention
Yeah.
and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to that extent, I think that's literally what I would want
They
to
do
the
like
most.
dodgeball shit.
Yeah, like, you know, we can have like our own little place where we like film short film studios, all this stuff. Like all that stuff is all I need. I don't need to be at a place where it's like, yo, I have like 2 houses in that place, 3 houses across the world there. I have this thing going on here, this thing going on here. It's just, nah, I don't need all that. I'm meeting with the president. It's like, no, I don't need that. I don't need to be doing all that stuff.
There's definitely, it's like being well known in your niche or community, I feel like is the peak of it.
Yeah.
Where it's like not superstardom, where it's like no, like
also to the point where like you walk outside at certain places and people are just like storming you, and it's just like, nah, bro.
Yeah. It's like
I really would probably hit some.
There's a difference between like famous being famous or like being like a superstar, where it's like think about like where you surpass even the thing that you do.
Yeah.
Like think about like a LeBron James. Like even if you don't know even if you don't give a fuck about basketball, if somebody mentions that, you'd be like, oh, like LeBron James, like because that's just somebody that you would hold hand in hand with that thing. Whereas like you think about like a RDC, it's like if you don't give a fuck about like video games or like skit comedy or like anime, like even if you do, there's a chance that you might not even know what they are. Maybe you've seen their face, but like that's about it.
Yeah, I mentioned this to somebody the other day who I thought I would have an idea, and she was just like, "Nah, I don't know who that is."
Yeah,
and I was just
because
like,
everybody has their own community that they're a part of,
exactly.
So like they have enough where they're like they eating good, everybody's cool, and like they're having fun with the shit that they do. So like I think that's like a healthy spot to be at.
Yeah,
you think about like, say if you're like an athlete, right? Like obviously like NBA, NFL here is like. If you're like a Patrick Mahomes, like everybody knows you.
Mm-hmm.
But you think about like boxing or like MMA, like to be like a good MMA fighter, you could be like that's a level of famous that I'd be okay with. Like maybe a champion or like maybe not like right before that contender was like if you follow UFC, you're like oh shit like that's that person.
Yeah.
But outside of that, nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Because like you can't. I don't want to be Conor McGregor.
No, definitely not.
But I'll be like a step below that.
True.
Because like I got a good record, I'm making my money, I'm doing main events. But unless you follow it religiously, you don't know who the fuck I am.
Yeah, that's good.
Or like with film, cameo guy, I could be like a Rob Schneider.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like I'm a supporting character.
Not Adam Sandler.
No, I'm a supporting character, but I play it so well that you remember me from that movie. Exactly. So when you see me like, oh, and you just say my line, it's like, can you do the line? Yeah. And I do the line, it's like, oh yeah, you want to get a picture? It's cool. And I just keep going, walking through my Walgreens.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm Adam Sandler, I can't go nowhere, man.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, do the laugh. Yeah, like, but supporting character, I could do that.
No, supporting character is good.
Because it's enough where like people will bring up like, oh, that's you.
I wouldn't mind playing main actor, but not to the point where it's like, I'm that superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like
cameos all day. Supporting characters all day. Comedic relief all day.
Yeah, I can do
just enough for them to be like, oh, that's you? Cool, have a good day, man. I love your work. And then I just keep going. I don't need no security. I don't need nothing.
True.
I think that's ideal fame and fortune.
Yeah, having security is always just like it sucks because like they're really like you don't want it, but you need it. You know? That's what's crazy about it. Because then anything could pop off at any second, you know?
Yeah. Crazy, bro.
I forget who I saw somebody was on a boat, somebody with content creator, and he was with a girl in there, and it was just like I think it was just him and the girl, but he had to have a security guard on there,
Mm.
obviously. And I think she like I don't know if she was playing hitting him or whatever, but the security guard literally like took like kind of like pushed her and sat her down like, yo, you can't do that.
Oh shit.
And like and she was like getting upset, but it's like, bro, that's his job. Like
Yeah.
you can't like he has a contract where it's like, bro, like you can't like,
Do that type of stuff.
aggressively like touch him or any type of way like that. Cause like at the end of
Then
the
what
day,
am I doing? What am I here for?
exactly, yeah. So I was just like kind of thinking like, bro, security, like having to have security, just like it pulls a whole nother world.
Yeah. Or you think about like I think was it Phantom? Was that
Mhm.
like the Dominican Day Parade or whatever in his car, and like the cops just like pulled a gun on
They-
him and like
oh.
they like arrested his driver and shit.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Or like you see Speed, he was like I think he's doing like a European tour or some shit. And he's been going to country doing like IRL streams, and like people just come up to him and, like give him the finger, like call him the N word, like hard R and shit in Europe, or like push him and shit. And it's just like he has all the security, or like kids are just mobbing him as he
Yeah.
walks around. Now he's about to do like Asia. He said he's gonna do like an Asia tour next.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing though. It's like, but that all seems so cool though.
It's cool, yeah.
Not the abuse and like racism part, but like
I think
being
what
able to do all that shit and just
I
make.
think the issue is really just like how you manage that, you know, and how you manage your content. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest, Speed just doesn't manage his content well as
Yeah.
far as like the type of appearance he has for himself. And I mean, like, it's getting him by, it's getting him views, it's getting him followers, are cool, but like then you gotta realize and remember like the way you do that to yourself and when you do that for your content, that's going to be the exact same way when you walk outside. Like people
Yeah.
are going to only know you for that. And if you're just trying to be on some chill stuff when you walk outside and think everybody else is going to be like that, you're sorely mistaken. Like it's not going to happen. Like people are going to act just like how you are on your own stream. They're going to be barking at you. They're going to
like
be trying to
imitating.
jump. Yeah, they're going to be trying to jump at you and all that. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, like that's what you created. It's like, unfortunately, that's what you did. Like you can't, I mean, like you can put a statement out and start changing it up for sure, but for a while, it's just going to be like that.
Yeah.
So it's really just on how you make your content and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Because like you said, that'd be cool. You know, just going around the world doing a tour. Like I would love to do that and just meet people and stuff like that. But I ain't trying to meet you. Y'all trying to like grab me and like
Do all
call
this
me
wild
bad
shit.
words
Yeah.
and yeah, nah.
I just want to get to that back to that point where it's like, I feel like successful gaming content creator
Yeah.
is like the shit in
Yeah.
terms of fame.
Yeah.
Because like you got your community, like RDC type shit. It's like you got your fame, you make your content at home. You don't do no IRL stream, no bullshit like that.
No.
You don't even really got to leave the crib for unless you want to.
No, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That type of life is just better. I mean, like it's for certain people, of course.
Yeah.
But like what they have is like so cool because like you said, they make their content at home for the most part. They do their short film stuff, even like in their area at home, whatever. And then they have their events like, you know, DreamCon and stuff like that. It's like at the end of the day, it's all surrounded around the same stuff
Mhm.
and they don't have to feel like they need to do extra stuff because everybody just loves what they do automatically. And they're just like, yeah, these people are cool.
But yeah, if y'all famous, stop talking to younger people.
Yeah.
If
good
y'all
name
want a famous two people to root for, they won't do that. You're looking at them. Share this video. Help us get to 1 million, and you'll never hear a scandal about us ever. We're nice people.
We're nice people.
We'll just leave that at that. You know. Make sure you vote this year. The Birds are back tomorrow. That's why I got this hat on. Preseason starts tomorrow. Go Birds. The Phillies won last night against the Dodgers. Kyle Schwarber
Nice.
had 3 home runs on his own.
Nice.
Might have changed the season for us because we were playing like shit.
The other day, I heard somebody say that the Phillies are doing good. So it's just like hearing
So they're not
that,
paying attention to
yeah, I was just like, in my head, I was automatically like, we're not doing that good.
No.
Then they said we're doing good. So I was like, maybe I missed.
No, we haven't won a series in over a month. So that
Yeah.
person's not paying attention.
Yeah, I figured.
We're still in first place and we're
I
we're
guess
far
that's-
ahead.
I guess that's what it
But like
is.
if you're keeping up to it, actually, like there's a point. We're at a point right now. Like if we don't wake the fuck up, like we could lose it. So like,
Gotcha, yeah.
don't listen to that person. We're up. We looking better now. But
Yeah.
since like June, we didn't win shit. So that's a whole month of losing that we just went through.
Yeah.
But that's enough on that. We're talking about the upside. You know, we're growing. We're moving.
we're moving.
We're being good people. Right,
Yes.
guys? Right, Mark?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you guys for watching. We love you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Deuce.